ban. Alliances turn to ban. Team Empires turn to ban. Alliances turn to pick. Team Empires turn to pick.
Today, having our friends from North America find out that they are poles apart from Virtus Pro as they go through 2-0 with a comprehensive victory over Team Liquid. We're going to now to success, Gary host Richard Lewis. We're going to pick that one apart right now. And yeah, it was a great game, guys. So, with me, still got Corey, still got Yankee, still got Maniac. It was the expected result. I think we all went 2-0. Yeah, that's about so let's talk about that. I called Virtus Pro yesterday. We were a bit tired, a bit lackluster, even though the winning games. You know, and then when they went against Clifton, it was close when they had the opportunity instead. But they looked a bit better today. Obviously, yeah, they looked a bit, but they looked a little bit sharper.
Well, I mean, I kind of referenced before, one area aside from my I said one area the touch factor. I think we should have got a lot more rounds, they should have made these maps competitive because the round score looks okay, and they really were in these maps. You saw they would get into these like 3v2s or 4v3s, and every time the BPP, whoever it was, would come up clutch. I mean, on that last map there, like Neil was just styling on him a few rounds, doing like trees, kill shit, baiting people in publicly. So that's an area TL still clearly lacking kind of some of the composure. All those players just aren't experienced in those situations. So like Leo's when he played like 20,000 punch rounds, it's like not more so. He knows exactly what to do, he knows how to use the top, and his position. BP today just played really smart.
Yeah, and we couldn't talk on stage about we're trying to play the style now. We're looking now at the best things to come in. So again, I'll ask you guys, as yourself. What were they doing?
Well, the thing is, I feel consciously yesterday, I feel that today it was just outplayed by Virtus Pro. Even though we just lost yesterday to TSM, it was still a really close game. It was 16-13 even. They had a great T-Step and Mirage even then. I'm not so sure about what they did differently. It was just so Counter-Strike all around on their T-Step more than anything else. And on our of course, on their T-Step where they won the first place.
Yeah, I'm a bit like you. I don't really have a huge difference. Anything I can say is that obviously on Mirage, I think they take a little bit slower than usual because we were used to talk about this training just push them. This time they took their time. They had some very slow down around where they were just taking closer to do on the connector and then finally decide what they would do. So maybe they just take their time a little bit more, think about what they're going to do instead of just like rushing you.
I think the first map was the most overwhelming. That's the map we had. We said, right, at PGL, they kept constantly leading on that one over the past, like, obviously their pick. Then at IM San Jose, that's the one that just screws the snacks against PGL, like, absolutely wrecked them. Then you saw it, it just wasn't really that competitive at all. This was where they really got well, then you go on to the second map. The Mirage one was especially disappointing because from a coaching perspective, they're having the same problems that they had in Team Liquid at the beginning of the year. When they failed to make it to the first major, kind of beats it. When they failed in qualifiers, flip side. So on the Mirage game, it was 14-14 game, they were playing on CT side, and they lost the game because every time flip side realized where you had to smoke off the area going into the connector, throw smokes there. Team Liquid will never push through this one. They'll go, right, I smoked off, I wait a while, we drink, and we spam a little bit. They will never push through and make kind of surprise you or catch yourself off that. So once you get into the site, you control of the middle area of the A side, you just lock them out completely, and then they're trying to play mistakes. You just see we have problems in clutch round situations. And if you have those issues, you don't let yourself get put into that situation where you make bad decisions. You cut them off early, you try and cut out the legs from the attack the ball, same problems happening now, even with different players. They've had to do 5, 6 different player changes. Now the coaching structure, now they've moved different levels. But the same issues are playing with them. When they play the League 2, the level of League 2, they're only going to expose even all those small goals right now.
Well, we had
Reserve time.
so let's get one.
Good for some.
Let's go back to the past, alright? This match was
Around 21 around previous to this one, and this next one we could afford it. He made a judgment call, tried to do a timing push, because he just missed the liquid player, kind of unfortunate for liquid that last taste. But here you can see his composure. He doesn't shoot at this guy, was a free kill for him. He's patient, he gets the info for his team. All of the others, you see far away on the fact that all of the others are rotating. You only get one kill, dies, but that's all they do. That's why a lot of things they just need to allow you to get their own game moving, you know, get their flow moving. The majority of the first half they went to walk, you know, even getting tight independent as a setting in 12-3.5 and okay, all still stick to that, but you know, especially against the team.
It's not actually that. All the stuff actually started. They love to play American. What is the interesting? I like to play against Liverpool. That's how it works. These people love to play American teams. If they get them on the back, or even if they're down around on ego, they always have the opposite. We can beat these guys. We're going to skill these guys one-on-one. As a result, they play so disrespectful. They're going to absolutely bully you around. But just simply let them change the game. They don't know what to do next. It kind of reminds me of when we do even.
Centaur.
This is after we lost the piece around the force wall. We planned the force. It was all telling off. They just want to get the plan done. This plan was for Canada. And still there was a lot of players here. You see that all fall back, which I find at least they've had that guys you want to be somewhere where you can get to a close range. You see there's a long is planned. There's still 4 BT players alive, but the key player here is Pasha is also way down at the B side. You see it right now, like, but wait till it out. We should have this one a little bit lucky. There's Pasha getting here. There's no his point of view. Pasha will use smoke and also moves but Neo slow very the batteries there. He ran all the way back and the radar.
Oh, is it?
Really important round. I feel that especially for the underdog team, it's like to have this okay, boys, we got this, we have a great start. And then, even as the round is going, we feel, okay, they want to win this round. Only two, I think it's like 1 point, and then you lose it. It's unfortunate as well. But for me, it's a stretch for me.
Yeah, actually, I will go ahead and I will take the risk doing it. That we actually kind of created something like that, I don't know. And I think there's social laws of existence is happening. Now, you know, that's actually very exciting because obviously you hear people say,
Indeed, thank you very much. We're back here on the casting panel. It's myself, and we're getting ourselves straight in because there's a little bit of action. And the shards were dropped. We did actually have a smoke up from Empire straight up as they were looking to fight. And they weren't quite able to find anything. They are still sticking around for if they can find a Nightmare, they'd love to go. Although Ardance desperately trying to move forward and he's not going to be able to get it in. So Empire will back up. But anyway, Lumi, Alliance versus Empire, game 2. The Drow Ranger, is this the game for the Drow?
I don't think it is, but you know.
S4? I mean, S4's coming back around. They know that they're there. There's the Nightmare, doesn't really work there with the charge. S4's kind of trapped in the midst of it all. Nuts trying to move in, but S4 is going to give up the first blood there. Bane will try and get himself around the tree line, is going to be able to make it, and Alliance might lose Nuts as well. The slow from Resolution coming in. Nuts trying to get themselves away. Alliance desperately trying to find a kill in return, but they might give up 2 here. The heal comes through. It's not going to be enough to save Nuts. 2 down on the side of Alliance, and not the start that Alliance were hoping for there, as Resolution will be able to get himself the bounty rune as well.
Not like this, man. Not like
and
this.
Silent got the so Silent get 2 kills and 2 bounty runes. I don't think you're starting a game any better than that, Lumi.
Yep. Great advantage. I mean, the thing that Cinderwin was talking about is win the laning stage. Drow Ranger, a decent laner, because of the plus damage you give to everybody, as well as Windrunner mid. But you know, giving away so many kills and so many runes, kind of a nullifier any laning advantage I could have had. Top lane charge, not gonna complete, but hey. Make him scared a little bit.
Right, just keeping Bulldog on the edge here. I mean, talking about the lanes, the matchups that we've got, I mean, what can we expect to see from both sides? Anyone coming out on top in terms of this laning stage?
Right now, they just don't have an answer for a Spiritbreaker charge, right? He could just charge him without impunity to the Prophet every day, all day, every day. He could charge the Drow Ranger as well, so I feel depending how the Spiritbreaker plays, he could just put a ton of pressure in conjunction with the Bane that they already have. Funnick, I imagine, might have a tougher time if the supports rotate away, but never mind. He's got the Pro Man shield. He's just actually like tanking everything, and he doesn't really care.
Just Funnick and Aloha contesting this pull through that Nuts and Ake are trying to get off. I'll be able to take a few of the CS from it as well by the looks of it. So this aggression from Empire working out very nicely with this dual lane. But at the same time, there's space being given here to Loda on this Drow Ranger as he will be able to CS up. And not have to worry too much about these supports, just well, focusing on trying to disrupt the pull. Oh, Nuts and Ake still kind of teasing with them. Funnick's going to drop down the Void. Loda's now come in.
Shards could be big
They
here.
might be able to get a kill here. They'll drop the Nightmare down onto Nuts. Funnick actually moving into Loda with the Void. Alliance might be able to come out and top it. Ake's going to go down. Bit of a mess here, but this could be 2 for Alliance. They'll find the Bane. Funnick. He's going to have mana for the Void in a few seconds, but he's got to get himself away, and Alliance will get the kills. They're going to hold off on that one. Let it go to Loda. But okay, that's what they needed. A couple of kills there that Loda gets himself involved in, picks up one for himself.
So that's a bit of slight miscommunication by the side of Alliance, because Loda was hitting on the Bane, or sorry, hitting on the Night Stalker at the beginning of the fight, and then they switched over to Bane. And that kind of 2-3 seconds of right click missing got their Dazzle killed in the first place. So even though they got 2 kills on Loda, it could have been a lot cleaner for Alliance. But still, advantage going back on the side of Alliance, at least on the bottom lane. Mid lane matchup here, CS-wise, you do see the Windrunner pulling slightly ahead, but I imagine the lane's going to be a wash. I don't know, Viper has been doing very well so far in this tournament, just getting really fat and
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good Viper performances.
unable to be
That's for
killed.
sure.
But this is the one game where I think Viper might have a tougher time. Bottom lane here, another shards. Nice tango out, but the snowball's going to go in.
Snowball. Let's see if they can get it. They're moving on to Bane. Bane will turn around with the brain. Sap puts the Nightmare onto Loda. Bulldog's coming as well. And Loda's trying to walk this one off to the left, but Nuts and Ake chase him down.
Oh,
Too busy. They're
denied.
going to get the deny. No, he can't. Ake will get the kill onto Aloha Dance. And Bulldog will simply TP back out. Funnick's going to be able to keep himself safe. But again, another kill for Alliance. A bringing it to 3 for 3 on the board.
Yeah, the Frost era really kind of going to work here for Loda. I imagine this game is going to be one of the few games where Viper will die because there's so much range right-click damage coming out, especially through that focus fire. If S4 has good enough farm, I think the Viper can get killed. You don't have any great defensive spell like, Grave, for example, or Co-Embrace that we normally see in a lot of the other
Aloha Dance. Again, coming out just a little bit too far, potentially. The Gust comes out from Loda, silencing up
Great
both
shards.
the Bane and the Night Stalker. The shards are out. He'll Nightmare himself, maybe hoping for some kind of deny, but it's not going to happen. They'll find themselves the kill. Ake graves himself up. They're just kiting around Funnick. Funnick will try and move in. Can he get himself the kill? Ake with the juice, but the Void comes through. Funnick will find the return kill. Now he's trying to get himself out, but again, Nuts with the shards, holding him in. Funnick will pop the stick charges, but the snowball's there. The right clicks from Loda, are they going to be enough?
Loda's out
He's
of
actually
mana.
out of mana, doesn't have enough for the slow. 6 seconds until the arcane boots are up on Nuts. Nuts.
Given the fact that there's so much fights going on, a power shot barely clips him. I'm surprised that Spiritbreaker is only charging to the bottom lane now, because imagine there's a fight where Spiritbreaker is just on the Drow Ranger. I don't think Loda's going to be able to output so many Frost Arrows. So I feel like Empire could have played the bottom lane much better than they have, but the game now is evened up at 4-4. Ember, though, is free farming.
He's getting a lot of farm.
Yeah.
You compare his farm to Loda. Yes, Loda's been involved in maybe more kills, but yeah, 31 CS at the moment on this Ember Spirit. Silent's going to be very happy with the lane that he's been given, having no issues with trying to lane against this Nature's Prophet. And as you were saying earlier, Resolution still with the edge in this mid lane on the Viper.
Yeah, but you can see, Owen, why that Alliance really want to pick that Tusk early.
Ooh,
Nice
Gust from
Gust.
Loda will cancel
He's
the
gonna get
charge.
blocked.
Funnick. He's
Oh,
looking
no.
for the body
Oh, the
block. Yeah, the
creeps.
creeps. Oh no! Okay, yeah, but
Great
Bulldog
sprout.
actually able to push him out with a sprout.
Okay.
Saving Loda. Loda trying to turn with the right clicks, getting this onto Funnick.
They'll back out. Mid lane
Oh,
looks
mid
like
lane. Okay, Ake went in with the help of Nuts and S4. They got themselves the kill. Wind Ranger with the double damage.
Yeah.
Do lose Dazzle for it, but we've already been talking about how well the Viper's doing, so I think Alliance will be happy with that one.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, you can see why they prioritize the Tusk so much in the drafting stage. I mean, Nuts so far has been really setting up multiple kills with those great placement of shards. It feels like when they have this hero, they have the early game more on lockdown. They're able to look for picks. They're able to really fight, despite against Bane and Spiritbreaker. These are normally the heroes that win the early laning stage. Nuts says, "I don't care. I'm on the Tusk."
He's been doing a lot of work indeed. No fear. He's going to get himself around this as Nuts was backing up onto this bottom lane and is being followed by S4. So if Nuts spots someone out here, could be in trouble. Funnick. He's playing it safe. The pings come out. They know that S4's made his way all the way down to this bottom lane. And we're actually going to see Loda now come into the mid. No fear still hanging around on the Spirit Breaker on Loda. Well, let's see if they're able to do anything, Empire. Interesting to see if Resolution can make his move over. He does have level 7. He's got the Viper Strike. The pings are coming out onto Loda. They know he's there, and here's Resolution moving around. But Loda, he's going to play it safe, keep it cool, and actually just going to back up by this tier 2. Or whether they may be looking for him elsewhere. Funnick just forcing S4 right back. So a bit of an interesting swap of the lanes here. So S4 coming away from mid and trying to give Loda some space here, so he can get that level 6 online.
Yeah, the big problem is that Prophet has been taking the space on the bottom lane. and there's nobody contesting Ember up top. Bottom lane, it looks like they're going to try to make it on Admiral Bulldog. The charge is going to come in right now here. Admiral Bulldog will have Brave backing him up, and Shackle Shot does hit on
S4
two.
might be able to turn it, but look, Silence coming on the Ember Spirit. This could be the turnaround. They were going to move in with the Flame God as well. Bulldog ticking low. Viper Strike comes out. They found 2 Empire. They're trying to move in for more. Nuts and S4 retreating into the tree line. 4 on the side of Empire, closing forward. They'll charge forward. They get the bashes onto S4. They'll also find the kill onto Nuts. Double kill for Bane. And a really nice fight for Empire, and we've talked about Silent before, how active this man could be, and he manages to get himself involved in all 4 of those kills. They're getting 4 assists from that rotation.
This is why the panel didn't really prefer Alliance's draft, because when they do the run at you, Shred, what do you actually do as Drow Ranger and Prophet? These are some of the squishiest hero that you could pick in Dota, so I don't know exactly what the plan is for Alliance, but they gotta dig deep, because Spirit Breaker will never stop charging at you.
And we're in a similar situation as well to the first game with the net worth and individual heroes. The 3 highest are all on the side of Empire. It is still fairly close, and it is early days, just 8 minutes in.
Unfortunately for Alliance, they don't have that big team fight that they could have leaned back on. I mean, last game they had the Static Storm, they had the Phoenix ult, they had the Shadow Fiend mech and ult. What do you actually have for this game for team fight, as you know you start losing these tier 1 towers and they just keep running at you?
Oh, Silent with this Invis. If he finds Loader, that would be a very nice pick-off here for the man. Loader. And he's aware that something may be going down. Silent. Can you find anyone? Loader? No, Silent's actually going to look towards the mid. Might go for the easy kill on Ake. Things are coming out. Rest of Empire moving in. Loader just hanging around by the camp. And yeah, they'll go for Ake. Straight in. He'll pop the grave. There's a charge coming through as well.
They got Gus?
Yeah, Ake's gone. There's no way he lives through this one. And he'll go down. Ember Spirit taking yet another kill. Silent. Really making this hero work this game. No fear. In the tree line, there'll be a TP towards the mid from S4. They might try and fight, but Empire's so ready to fight. And they're so ready to go. The charge, bashing front to 3. The chains are there. They will get out the snowball, picking up S4, but the Void there with the slow. S4 gets silenced up as well. Nuts getting bashed up. Can they look for anything more? No one to drop. Yeah, on the side of Alliance. The shard's now coming out, but Silent Remnants away. Empire taking a power shot, but oh, they charge back onto Nuts. Void as well. Resolution pops the buckler. Empire just getting themselves back up to the high ground. They're going to go back in on this one. The shards fly out. Oh, that's a nice shard. Trapping up 3. They'll have to go for the long way around. Actually, no, they can still get the range onto Nuts. Nuts gets healed up. There's the Nightmare onto Bulldog. No, they're getting incredibly low, but he'll be able to get himself out just in time. There's the Remnant back in. Silence ready to go. Going in with the Flame Guard. The damage is too much. Loader's ticking down. And Loader being healed up. Will he go down? He will. They'll find 2. They get Nuts as well on the tusk. And the Empire trying to move forward for more. Chains are up. If he can close in onto Bulldog, he should be able to get this one. Bulldog trying to get himself around, but the chains are indeed there. He'll get healed up, but Ake's got to run. There's no Shallow Grave available. Bulldog drops it as well. And again, Empire just outplaying the side of Alliance in these engagements. Silent will go down. S4 with the TT finds a big kill in return. And if they could find the Bane as well. Oh, Bane with the brain sap. He might pay with his life though. Nuts is there with the snowball. Okay, so Alliance do manage to rectify it a little bit with 2 kills off the back.
But that's off a double damage by S4. I don't know where he's getting these runes, but it's really saving them. Unfortunately, again, for Team Alliances, their hero's just not good for fights like that. They don't have good disengage. They don't really have good catch either. The only reason they're actually getting any kills, again, is off the Tuscan. You cannot expect your Tusk to keep hitting those eye shards after eye shards after eye shards. Top lane looks like we're going to see a little bit of teleport in.
They're ready to go. Oh, they try and go for the shackle, but S4 is going to whiff it. There's a charge still coming through onto Bulldog. Bulldog in so much trouble. He'll go down. Let's see if they can move forward for more. They get the Nightmare onto S4. S4 could potentially be in trouble. 2 seconds until the chains. He's going to try and get himself away with the Wind Robber. Silent. He gets the chains onto S4 and Loader. S4 getting low. They will use the Shallow Grave to keep S4 alive. They'll turn around the power shot, but they've already lost Loader. The Brain Sap's there to finish him off. S4's going to go down as well. And the charge onto Ake. They're not done yet, Empire. They want to find more, and they're going to get the Dazzle. Double kill for Resolution. And this time, Alliance won't be finding anything in return. Okay. They might even be losing more. Nuts tries to snowball himself away, looking for the TP out, but the Void's there. They'll end up losing 4 in quick succession. Alliance and Empire are certainly turning up this series and looking to go for another very convincing performance here in Game 2.
I don't know, man. Alliance, they don't have a fighting lineup, but yet they're choosing to fight non-stop. And granted, it's Empire taking the fight to them, but I think right now, if you're Alliance, you got to dig deep, avoid these fights as best as you can. It's hard to do it against Night Stalker and Spirit Breaker, but it must be done or this game is completely over. the best fighting hero they have is the Tusk and Wind Ranger. Maybe these two heroes just pair up and start, playing like a counter ganking party, or maybe start to gank on their own. But for the most part, they need key items, they need key levels, and they just have no space from Team Empire.
They certainly need something. Looking at the Ember Spirit, yeah, that's going to be what the Boots of Travel now done. As he gets the recipe sent out, so Silent's going to be able to be even more active around the map. Not that he hasn't been already. He's been involved in 11 of the 19 kills. At 12 minutes in, very active on the Ember, which is exactly what Empire need, and exactly why I felt that in the draft that this hero was absolutely perfect for Empire's playstyle.
Yeah. I recall I was saying something that Viper might die this game. He probably won't die for the next 10 minutes unless he completely overextends. Given the fact that he has a magic wand and a mech finish now, he will just run an Alliance and he will be immortal.
Alliance are grouped up behind this tier 1. Can they try and fight? We've already seen so far how the fights have just not been working for them. Fortification will come out, but Empire, they'll persist, and they'll look to try and get the last hit on this Sahara. And there's going to be a charge from the sidelines. Funny comes in as well, with the Void onto Loda. Loda's going to be the first to fall, and he will drop. That's your Drow Ranger down. S4 getting caught out. There'll be a Shallow Grave buying him some time. He gets out a power shot, but that's going to be that. S4's going to fall as well. 2 down on Alliance. Ake getting dove by Empire. They dive past the tier 2, they dive past the tier 3, and they're not done yet. Nuts tried for the TP out, but the change was there. He has got a snowball, but Empire having no mercy this game. Wishing to try and break down Alliance, and they're certainly doing it so far. Nuts will fall, and again, another 4-for-0 trade favoring Empire as the scoreboard now sits 23-7 at just 14 minutes, Lumi.
Alliance is not back. Not yet.
Tower is under attack.
Doesn't feel like
maybe
it.
next stream pack.
It's not looking great for them. Not at all. The net worth for these heroes, Viper, as you said, is so stacked. 7k. At the moment. The tier 2 now dropping in the mid lane. Empire, they're going to back up. We're going to see Silent just head up to the top lane. Get that push out. Bulldog himself was trying to find some space up here.
Okay, he's got the mech finish. All right, that's a little bit of something for fights.
Roshan is up. Empire, I guess they don't really have the best lineup to take it, so I don't know if they'll look towards that yet. But yeah, as you said, the mech on the Nature's Prophet is going to be something to add to these fights, but we've already just seen how much Alliance are struggling to actually go against Empire's line. And when you look at the heroes, I guess it's no surprise. Empire's heroes are so much better suited to doing what they're trying to do at this point of the game.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if Loda is playing some sort of early fighting core, like a Gyrocopter or Juggernaut, something that could be a little bit more impactful in these fights. Sure, the Drow Ranger was able to pick up, 2-3 kills in the laning stage, but...
look at this. Is he going to commit to this one? No, he's not. He's not. No fair. Just with the charge. And here we go, the tier 2 on the bottom lane. Empire starting to push. Alliance, have they got an answer? And it doesn't look like they have for this one. Empire will still stay strong here. Silent, 1300 gold now built up on this Ember Spirit. Bulldog desperately trying to push top. Loader's there as well. That's going to be a charge targeted on Bulldog, and he's going to TP himself straight back to the base. But Alliance, they need a huge game plan here to turn this one, Lumi.
I think if they could last long enough till Ag Scepter, maybe on Prophet, maybe you could just draw the game out, but...
It's a long way away.
Yeah, that's a
little bit of a pipe dream.
Oh, sometimes you gotta dream, right?
Well, that's going to be up to Alliance to try and make their dream a reality here. And Empire are, of course, going to be there waiting to stop it and make sure that the nightmare for Alliance is real.
Actually, never mind about the Acceptor, because Bulldog's looking to fight with the...
Okay, getting the Vlads up...
the Orchid
Night Stalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orchids. Okay, they get the Shackle onto No Fear. But again, this is just holding back at the side of Empire. They may be able to control them a little bit. The Shards have blocked No Fear out, but they just can't throw themselves in at this lineup. As Empire find the space for the tier 2.
Empire is playing really calm and collected right now. Because, again, the only way they lose is, diving into tier 4 towers.
Bulldog, he is so dead. There's chains on him, a charge for as well. He'll pop the mech, but the bash is coming out into the Nether Strike for No Fear. Bulldog will fall. Silent now on a killing spree on this Ember Spirit. More money into the bank of the Fiery Boy. It's 2.5k gold now picked up on top of the Boots of Travel.
The other thing that we haven't really been mentioning is, apart from getting a Shackle Shot on Silent, there's actually no way for them to lock him down. So Silent is just not dying at this point on.
The smoke up here from Alliance. Resolution's actually farming very aggressively here, and this could be a free kill with a shackle shot. Resolution.
Maybe.
Oh, is he going to live here? Oh, he is. The Glimmer Cave's there. They can't kill Resolution. Even though it looks like they pretty much caught him on their own. There was the time for the rest of Empire to turn up. S4 goes down. Nuts is going to fall as well as Resolution gets a double kill. They ram them forward. The charge is there onto Loda. They'll pick up the Drow kill, and GG's called. Alliance are out of the LAN, and Empire take the series 2-0. A little bit of a disheartening performance there from Alliance, but we can't take away from the fact that Empire just played very, very well, Lumi.
I mean, the draft just really did not favor what Alliance wanted to do. I think they expected a lot more of the laning stage, but Spiritbreaker and Night Stalker just was so much meaty hero up in the front that they just can't deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, Alliance, they went for that range strat, they went for the Drow Ranger, but it's always going to be a bit of a risk trying that against these CIS sides like Empire. Say, all right, we're just going to pick a Spiritbreaker and a Night Stalker and run straight at your face.
I mean, if you have